Chair recognizes Mr. Clawson.
Thank you, Chairman, for your leadership here today, as always, and appreciate all three of y'all coming today and what you do for our country and the sacrifice you make, because it's not small. So I appreciate that. On a personal level, I get tired of the bad trade deals that our country makes. I get tired of our trading partners taking us to the cleaners. I get tired of good-paying American manufacturing jobs going overseas. And I'm like, this morning, if I'm the UAW, I'm not happy with the Chinese currency and their export subsidies. And if I'm Harley-Davidson, I'm probably not happy with where the yen is today, as we see our American manufacturing infrastructure get decimated. Pretty soon, we're just not going to make anything anymore. What's wrong? Why not protect the American worker a little bit? On top of that, the Chinese hack us. Wait a minute, billions of dollars every month go to the Chinese in a trade deficit. They hack our companies, and they hack our government, and we just keep on trading. Now, as I understand it, Secretary Johnson, you said time will tell whether what we've done will keep them from hacking in the future. I say, why don't we protect the American worker, the American company, American unions, the UAW, and our infrastructure at the same time? Because if we put our markets on the table and said, any more hacking, you lose access to our retail markets, that would go away immediately, because they depend on us to live. So while I watch our manufacturing sector get decimated and these folks hacking us, you're there with the administration. I just wonder why we don't use the obvious leverage that we have. It's obvious. And it makes me upset because I see so many of my friends and people I grew up with that lose good-paying American jobs. And you say only time will tell whether the Chinese are going to obey us or not, or cooperate or not, while we open up our markets. Am I missing something on my analysis of this situation, Secretary?
In response to cyber attacks on our government and on the private sector, there are a number of things, seen and unseen, that we have done and that we are considering. What I am referring to when I said time will tell, when the President of China was here, and in the run-up to his visit, the Chinese government agreed that economic espionage and theft of commercial information for commercial purposes was wrong and was a crime. They agreed to that in writing, and time will tell whether they will live up to that agreement. But it was significant in the sense that they publicly, out of the mouth of their president, committed to that. But time will tell whether...
Have we ever talked, as the leadership of our country, of using the obvious market leverage that we have as almost a third of the global GDP and the source of economic growth for the whole world? Do we ever talk about using that leverage to get not only fair trade deals, but keep them from robbing our IP and keep them from hacking? I mean, we could stop it next month. Just shut down the retail markets to cheaters and let the American worker catch a break for once. All at the same time.
I have to refer you to other agencies of our government about that.
But you're up, I mean, look, you're part of the leadership structure. Excuse me, but you're on the board of directors. You're at the chief, you're in the staff meetings. You know, and part of this touches you. I think if you were back in the private sector, the board of directors meeting, that answer might not be acceptable. I'm asking, does the senior leadership of our country, as we get taken to the cleaners on trade and on hacking and on IP, has anybody thought about using our markets as leverage? Do you all talk about that?
I suspect the answer is yes.
Well, then I'd like to see a little bit.
But I again refer you to other agencies of our government.
Come on now.
Sure can give you an answer to that question.
You know, the American worker doesn't want referring to other agencies. Our IP, our folks that get their technology stolen don't want to get referred to other agencies. They want leadership. We're getting taken to the cleaners on 4 different fronts, and we don't want to get referred to an outside study. We want leadership for American jobs and American technology. I don't think that's too much to ask. You're part of the team. Help our countries, help our companies, and help our unions and our workers get a fair shake. I yield back.